this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and here we are for our 5th class on weight loss. One of the things that is really important when it comes to losing weight, and this is about losing weight, but it's also very much about healthy living. But one of the things that happens is when we are under a lot of stress, or which typically most of us are to some degree, we have a certain level of stress. So our cortisol level, which is higher, is a stress hormone, is released into the body, and it stays at a level that's higher than it needs to be. And that in itself is one of the major culprits of why we put on weight. Aging, hormone changes, that has another big piece of that. So one of the things that is very important, the more I read about it, research it, have been in this field for a long time, is the breathing. Now, and I'm going to take you through a breath where I'm going to have you, in a moment, have you take a deep breath in, as if you're lifting up, you're going to breathe as much as possible in and empty the lungs completely. So when you reach the top, you just kind of pause for a second and then you exhale through the mouth, as if you're shooting, forcing that air out of your mouth, out of your lungs. Empty lungs is what most of us do not empty our lungs. So what happens is you're just breathing, only using a small portion, and you're not using your diaphragm, which is going to help with the metabolism, with our digestive system, but our metabolism. So we'll get started. Okay, no more talking. So sitting up tall, let's just shake out our shoulders, loosen them up. Let's drop our head to the right. And inhale back up and to the left. And inhale your head back up, and then just drop it to the back, back, and lift your head back up, and then drop it to your chin to your chest. When I say sit up tall, that means your head is over your pelvis, your tiny bit of a tucking of the tailbone. Okay, just a little bit, so that your hips are in line. And we're going to be working on this actually. After this class, it will become part of a regular class, really concentrating on our hips. And I'll explain another day in more depth. Okay, we start with reaching. Let's just loosen up the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, float the hands down. You'll start off probably taking very short breaths. They'll get deeper and deeper over time. Inhale. And then exhale, float down. Now this time I want you to inhale, reach your arms up. Keep breathing. And then exhale through the mouth. Let your hands drop. Empty the lungs out completely. Be careful, you'll feel a little dizzy at times. Then just take a pause between the breaths. Take a pause and then come back. Take an inhale. Reach, and then go. Let it all out of your lungs. One more time, inhale. And then go. That should feel nice. Okay, let's do a few little pelvis tilts and tucks. You're going to learn about your back, your spine. Okay, one hand on your pelvis, one hand on your lower back. If for some reason you can't reach your lower back, for whatever reason, both hands on the pelvis, okay? So a little tucks and tilts, concentrating on the pelvis. So when you lean, you take your tailbone, lift it back. So the pubic bone is lower than your belly button. You're in what they call a tilt. And then when you tuck it under, the pubic bone's just above, forward, beyond the belly button, that's a tuck. We're going to go back and forth, feeling in to your hips. And I'll talk more about this in the next group of classes, because I have some interesting new information I've been reading from a physical therapist and watching his work about posture and it's really fascinating. And probably things that I've been teaching all along, but not in such detail. So little rocks and rolls back and forth. And then what happens is once we're going to come to what they call a neutral spine, where your pubic bone and your belly button are aligned with one another. And then as your lumbar spine, there's a curve to it, natural curve. As there's a natural curve to the cervical spine, and then your upper back, it's straight. There's a little straightness to it. It's not perfectly straight. And that's what we want. That's neutral spine, and that's where we want to be. And we want our head to be aligned with that and with those hips. Now let's do a few cats and cows. Let's go into a deeper pelvic tilt and tuck, but incorporating the chest and the shoulders. And exhale, belly pulls in. So this is a tuck, and this is a tilt as you lean forward. And get the hips involved here. These are, when we have neck issues, shoulder issues, it's often related to our hips. The misalignment of our hip joints. And let's come back up. One more time, back into that neutral spine. Find your neutral spine. Get used, after a while it'll be intuitive. You won't have to even check. Okay, so bring your right knee into your chest. Let's hug the knee in, let's lift, and you're going to, let's straighten that leg, and just place the hands underneath that right thigh. And I want you to point and flex. You might have your leg might be lower than mine. Flex and point, and flex and point, and then take the leg and circle it around. I mean the foot, sorry about that, the foot. Circle it around to whatever direction you start, and then go in the opposite direction. And then take that leg and kick the heel away, forward. The toes draw in towards your shins. You're going to feel that all the way the back of the leg. And then re-bend your right knee, hug it in, and then place it down. And for just a moment, I want you to notice how did they feel, how different the legs feel, comparing them to each other. And then let's hug your left knee into your chest. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, wrap the arms underneath that left leg, kick that left leg, that heel forward, and then point and flex. Soften the shoulders down, flex and point. Let the breath flow evenly, inhaling and exhaling. And then let's circle the ankle around. You can start any direction. Let's go in the opposite direction of that circle. And then from here, just flex the foot. Maybe you might have to bring the hands up a little higher. I feel like I need to support my leg a little bit. And kick through the left heel. And feel what that's like all the way down your leg. That's an important stretch. And then lower that left leg down. And just take a pause here. Let's take another deep breath in, reach the arms up. And let's exhale, let the arms float down. Okay, I'm going to swing back to face you. And from here, you're going to wiggle back up. Well, I'm going to. You have your head. And then take your right leg over your left. And I want you to start with the foot can stay here. It could stay where it is, or you can tuck it under. Not all of us are able to tuck it under, so don't feel like you have to because of knee joints or flexibility issues. Take a left hand on your right thigh, right hand behind your back, or take it to the upper part of the chair. I'm going to keep mine on that chair, the seat itself. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to twist. Twisting from the navel. When we talk about weight loss, this helps with digestion, but can twist because you're twisting the digestive system, the intestines. Take an inhale, you're going to keep your legs as they are, and I want you to just come over to the opposite side and just do a gentle, this is not a big major twist here, just it's a counter twist to what we just did. And then come back forward again. Okay, legs stay as they are. Now hands either on the thighs or behind the head. You might try behind the head and find it's too much, so then put your hands on your thighs. Take a breath in, and you're going to lean forward, leading with the chest, and then inhale, lift back up. And exhale, lean forward, and inhale. Now, as you lift up, let me just get the breathing right. Inhale up, you exhale, pull the belly in, lean down, and then inhale back up. This time, exhale down, and then release the hands from the back of the head. Wrap your arms around the shins or above the knee, and let your head drop, and squeeze those inner thighs. And breathe in, and feel the upper back stretching. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take an inhale, push into those legs, and press back up. And let the shoulders drop. Untwist that right leg. Okay, let's just take a moment here with the legs apart. Come onto the heels, come onto the toes. Heels and toes, rolling those toes and heels. Few little things. And then from here, we're just going to work the right leg right now. Place your right hand on your right knee. And you're going to lift your right leg up, and at the same time, push that right knee down. Does that make sense? So you're pushing down with the hand, but you're pushing up with the leg. Pushing down with the hand, lifting up with the leg. You should feel tummy muscles working, or especially the thighs working. Pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, down, and just shake it out. Okay. So now we take your right leg, left leg over. Either the foot stays as it is or bring it behind, possibly. Let's twist to the left, right hand on the left thigh, left hand behind your back. Lift up tall first, crown of the head lifts, and then you spin around, twist from the belly button. And you twist and either look towards your left shoulder or keep your head in line with the center of the chest. Soften your left shoulder down. Breathing in. And breathing out. So twisting out this, you might even find you have to, it's good, twists are good for people who have digestive issues. So it's a good thing, it's a nice thing to do. And then we're just twisting over to the right, but a gentle twist, a counter twist. You should feel the spine working, hydrating that spine. And then come back to center. Hands on the thighs. Since you did the arms before behind the head, you can forego that or put the hands back on the head. I want you to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower down, pull the belly in and up to the spine, and then inhale, soften the belly, lift the arms up. Exhaling, pull the belly in, lean down, and inhale up. Lots of work happening on the inner thighs, and then down. And one more time, inhale, lift, and then exhale, pull the belly in, so drop your hands down, cradle those legs or the knee. Drop your head. Take a breath in and stretch out. And the further your hands slide down your leg, the more you're going to feel the upper spine. Let the head drop. And then take an inhale, lift back up, roll the shoulders, and untwist those legs. And just rub those knees. If you have any knee issues, sometimes the twist can be kind of difficult. Okay, left leg now. Left hand on the left thigh. You're going to pick your left knee up. As you do so, push the hand down into the leg, but at the same time, simultaneously, push the left leg into the hand. So push the left leg down and then push into the hand with that left leg. You should feel lots of things happening here. Back down and then up, creating your own resistance. And then lower down. And then just shake those legs out. Let's open the legs wide. Let's come into what is a squat. Now, squat can be, you could actually come off the chair. You might be people who can squat. I can squat on the ground, I don't need a chair, but not all of us can. So I want you to take your elbows on your thighs, open up the legs, and then see if you can spread the knees a little bit further apart. Keep your chest lifted. So there's a lifting of the chest, but your gaze is towards the ground. So follow the bridge of your nose with your eyes all the way down to the ground. Breathing in and feeling, and then taking your hands and pressing into those knees. If this is too much for your backs, come up higher with your torso, and then press the knees into your arms. So what you're doing is exactly what we did with when the hands were on our knees. You're pushing into the arms, into the legs, as the legs press into the arms. Little kind of butterfly stretches, in and out and in. So pushing and from both ends, creating that resistance. And then this lift up. Ooh, I can feel those inner thighs working. And then just heel toe those feet back together. Just shake them out. Pat the feet. Wake up your feet. Shake those legs. Okay. Before we get up in a second, let's open the legs again. It's not as wide this time. Left leg open, take your right foot out to the side. You can flatten the foot out and keep the knee bent, or come onto the heel. Okay. Slide the right leg, the right hand down on the thigh, or possibly beyond the knee, but not on the knee. Reach your left arm up to the sky and stretch over that right leg. So what we're doing is working the whole left side of your body. And you can look down towards the right leg, you can look forward, or you can look up to your left arm. So feeling the stretch also in that left hip, and then let's lift back up. Let's heel toe those feet again together, working those feet, and then rolling, and then just pat them, get the circulation moving in those legs. Okay, then we have the other side. Left leg out, right leg is bent. Now the left leg, it's forward actually, the toes of that right leg. The left leg, I'm going to actually not go as far with this leg because this leg's a little bit, it doesn't feel so wonderful today. So left hand on the thigh and reach your right arm up and stretch over to the left. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Stretch, 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 and feel the stretch. So gaze up, gaze down, or gaze forward. Breathe in. Keep the metabolism moving with, we want to stimulate our metabolism because that drops as we get older. We know that, right? It's not as easy to lose weight. And particularly for women, it's harder for women. So let's just bring the feet together this time. Well, I just did something I liked. Okay, I just got an idea. Okay, shake out those hands, shake out those hands. Now I'm going to take the right arm up and stretch over to the left, but I want your arm to be a little raggedy, not too much going on in that arm. It's as if it's a rag doll arm. I want you to float the arm over to the left and then float the left arm over to the right. And we're going to go from side to side. What does this remind me of? A little bit of a snake, serpent-like arms. Reminds me of some beautiful Hindu dancers, the women who do these beautiful, I suppose they're worshipping goddesses. They have these beautiful arms, snake-like arms. So let's go float from side to side, loosening up those hips, loosening up our arms, like a little dancer or a big dancer. And then let's just take that left hand on the thigh, reach your right arm all the way around. We did something like this similar at the beginning of the week, as if you're trying to reach behind you, and then bring that right arm all the way around over to the left, crossing your body, and then Sweep back, place that right hand on that thigh. Left arm, reach it forward all the way around, round, 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 and then sweep all the way back, and then place it on your thigh. And that's lift up off of the seat. If you can lift up without any support, push yourself up and lift. Always take the advantage of an opportunity to work your muscles. Okay. We've done a lot of inner thigh work today. We're doing a lot of hip work. What I'm going to have you do is I'll show you from this angle. You hold on to the back of the chair, open the legs. So if you can see my legs on either side of the chair. And your feet are turned out. And you're going to hold on to the back of the chair. Your knees are bent, both knees are bent. And I want you to just sway from side to side. So without the chair, if I had the chair, this is what it would look like. Okay, so just pretend I have the chair. And from here, you're going to bend your right knee and straighten your left leg. And then bend your left and straighten your right leg. And go back and forth. Back and forth. Any knee issues, make this smaller, the movement. Hardly bend the knee. So what we're doing is we're going a little bit faster. If, perchance, you could do it without the back of the chair, you could just put your hands on your hips from side to side, do so. Keep your body, doesn't have to be straight. There's a slight leaning forward, but your spine is in that neutral position, if that makes sense. I suppose it's not completely neutral, but you're just leaning forward. Your tailbone is long rather than tucked or tilted. And then go back and forth just one more time. And then we're going to stay on one end. Your hands could be on the chair this time. And I want to do a little bit of a pulse. So that left thigh is working. Make sure that left knee, that's getting my heart rate up, doesn't go beyond the ankle. There's just a little pulse here. It's hardly actually a movement. You'll feel it, but you won't see it. So you're lifting up and down, lifting up and down. If you want to add the hand, push into the hand as you push into the leg, resisting one another, pulsing, and then let's just shake it out. Shake out our legs. Then open the legs again, and let's do the right side. So and let's hold and little pulses. So hold the stretch for 1 second. Left leg is straight and little pulses. And then add on, push into that right leg. So don't make it too easy, like, oh, I'm hardly doing anything. I want you to use your hands, the resistance of your own body, to create some effort. This is an effort. This should take a little bit of effort, and then come back up. And let's shake our legs out. And then let's do a few little figure eights to loosen up our lower back. If you want to do something a little bit more, you can actually circle and make this deeper, incorporating the upper body. And let's go in the other direction, round and round. One thing that's interesting about the lower back is there isn't much mobility in your lower back. You can't really do much with it. The upper part of the spine, or the upper portion up to the neck, is what moves, has the mobility. The lower back is the stability, so there's not much happening here. So you have to kind of get the other part of your spine to move. Okay. Let's do just a few stretches over to the side. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's take the left arm, just reach it over to the right, and then take this stretch a little bit further on. Take it on a diagonal. If you're trying to reach up into a cabinet, And you know how many times you've done that, right? You haven't quite been able to reach, so you have to get the stepping stool. But you try it first without the stepping stool. And that's what I want you to do. And then let that arm drop down. Reach your right arm, the same thing. Over to the left first. And then reach on a diagonal, trying to get that thing up in the cabinet. And you keep trying, and obviously you often go on your toes. But keep reaching so that you stretch out all these these ligaments and fascia and muscles all along the sides of your arms and your sides, and then shake it out. Okay, let's come back to seat. Pretty much we do similar things, but every day there's something slightly different. Okay, I want us to do our hands. We're not going to do our feet today, because we did that earlier in the few sessions before. So we'll work the hands. What I want us to do is take the towel. We haven't done this one. I think we did do it this week, but we'll do it again. I like to do this at least twice. And for those YouTubers, just to let you know, I do this. This is live recording, so it's not, nothing's being edited at all. So take the towel, and you're going to start with the right hand at the end, right hand on the edge of the towel, the left hand as the one that's going to do all the twisting. I want you to twist all the way down. The right hand is just the stability, holding onto the towel. Twist with the left hand. Twist as if you're twisting out lots of water. This is filled with water. You dropped it in the river or in the sink. And twist and twist, and then you have to go back again. But this time the right hand is the twisting hand, and the other one, and the left hand is the stabilizer. So you're twisting with the right hand, but just holding onto the towel with the left hand. And keep going. I sometimes feel this at night after I've done this class. My wrists, I feel them, and it's good because you know that you've done something. It's not painful. It's just I just feel like I've done something with my hands. Okay, so I think we've worked everything in our bodies today, pretty much. Feet, worked our way all the way up the body, shoulders. We did some neck. I suppose the face, not so much the face. The best way to work your face is to smile. That helps stretch out your muscles. Okay, so let's take a few moments here, sitting on the chair, returning back to that idea of that neutral spine. No tucking, no tilting. Come back into the midpoint between those two. And that's where we want us to be. And we want our head to be over the pelvis. So we don't want to be forward, we don't want to be back, we want to be in the middle. And then let's inhale, reach your arms up. Let's take a deep breath in. And then exhale. We'll do another 2. Inhale. And then, and one more time, inhale. And then hands to heart. Thank you very much for being with me. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. And for those on YouTube, just remind you to subscribe. All you have to do is press that little button on the right-hand side, send me comments, which are really helpful, and give me a thumbs up. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone.